Good day, student. I hope everybody is doing great. Today, the strands that we are going to talk about is geometry and measurement. Our substrands that will be taking the lesson is geometric reasoning. And under the geometric reasoning, you are going to talk about the transformation. And during our previous lessons, we did discuss about the transformation. We said the transformation means what? Change. How objects change within a number plane or from one cardinal point to another. We said we have some components responsible for changing objects from one cardinal point to another. And the responsible components, one that we discussed was the reflection, where object flip to the other side. And we discussed the reflection on what y-axis and then reflection on x-axis, where the x-axis is used as a mirror light to reflect the object to directly opposite, or the y-axis is also used as a mirror light to flip the object to the other side. Another component which is also responsible for moving objects or changing objects from one point to another point is translation. So today we are going to talk about translation under the transformation. Our lesson has been taken from the new curriculum of Big 6. Strand number 3, substrand 3, content standard 5, indicator 2. Indicator 1 was the reflection, and we do discuss that. So we are going to talk about the indicator 2, which is also talk about the translation. So let's proceed. Transformation by translation. So which means that transformation, another component that we are going to talk, which is responsible for changing object, is translation. Translation is the movement of a point or shape from one place to another. Translation of 2D shapes. When you say 2D, two-dimensional shapes, okay, square, rectangles, and cool. So translation of 2D shapes or point is done or moved by a translation vector. So before object can change under the translation, before object can move from one place, it has another agent, which is a translation vector that will move the object whether to the left, to the right, to the top, or to what? To the bottom. Now, translation vector is X and Y, the same coordinate. So always the translation vector is given in the form of a coordinate, which is the X and Y, which is also added to the point or position vector before a point or shape is moved as what? Image. So in order to get an image of what? A given point, we add the translation vector, which was also be given to you, and then you add it to the point before you get the new image or the new prime. So here, mathematically, a point plus translation vector, which will be given to you, is equal to what? Image. So this is the formula that we are going to use to do the calculations. So a point plus translation vector is equal to what? Image. Let's see the graphical interpretation after the image or the point has been added by the translation to get image. Let's see how the interpretation looks like. Always the negative negate of x coordinate of translation vector is moved to left side of the point or of the shape. And then the positive negate of the x coordinate of translation vector is moved to the right side of the point or of the shape. As I said, the translation vector will be given in a coordinate form x and y. So if say the coordinate translation vector amount, not say the s partner woman, a negative one, we will move to what? To the left side of what? Of the coordinate. And then if the x part is a positive one, we will move to the right side, because the right side is the point where you can locate the positive number of x-axis. Then the negative of y coordinate of translation vector is moved down of the point or of the shape, and then the positive negate of y coordinate of translation vector is moved up of the point or of the shape. So if translation vector is given to you, and then the y coordinate aspect of translation vector is a positive, where you can locate the positive of the y is the top of the origin, and where you can locate the negative of y is the down or the bottom of the origin. Okay, so on the y-axis, so you know how to locate the negative and the positive, therefore you move the point accordingly. Let's see some of the characteristics or some of the facts about translation. So if you want to translate a point by a translation vector, you must also consider these factors, because you need to what? Consider this. It's either what you have been doing is on the right path, okay? Then the shape of the object does not change when translated. So assuming that you have been given translation vector and then a point, when you add the translation vector to the point and the image that you'll be getting, it changed what? From the original image. Therefore, there must be something wrong, because the property says what? The shape of the object does not what? Change when translated. So you have to make note of that. You have to check the size of the shape, then the type of the shape. Say square. Now be translate now be rectangle. Then you must check your what calculations, and then you go back and do it well. Then the second bullet, which is the object does not turn or rotate during translation. It is always all the translation vector and can point to your image. Now we image in there, then there's something wrong here. Here the property says what? The object does not turn, it will not rotate. Okay, so we have another component which is also responsible for rotating object, but that one we will discuss it later. So the translation here will only move the object along the same distance or on the same line. It will not turn the object, it will not what? Change the object, the shape or the size will never change. The last bullet, in translation, every point of shape must move the same distance. So when you are translating a certain object and they have 4 points, all the 4 points will move on the same distance, will move with the same distance given by the translation vector. So all the 4 points will be added to the what? Will be added to the translation vector to get the images before you can get what? The new prime. Okay, so these are the 4 things or the 3 things that you need to consider when you are translating an object. Okay, good. Let's solve one more examples under the translation, how to add the translation vector to the point to get image. Example, find the images or find the image of the following points using the translation what? Vector or the vector 2 and 3. The point A is formed by 1 and 4. You will find the image where this point A will move 2 right, 3 up. So we'll check when the point A here move 2 right, 3 up. The meaning of the translation vector here is the movement, how the point will move. So we said when the x coordinate here is the positive, it means all the points will first move towards to the right side. Okay, you first move towards the positive side of the x, which is the right side. And then if the y coordinate is also a positive, then all the points here will be moving upwards. Okay, we'll move to the top, because where you can locate the y positive numbers of the y is what? At the top of the origin. Okay, so when you take the point A will move 2 right, 3 up, and then you get your new image or A prime. The B here, which is formed by -3 and 2, will move 2 right, 3 up before you can get the B prime or the image. Then the C here, the point C will move 2 right and 3 up before you can get a C prime. And then the point D here will also move 2 right and 3 up. Okay, so all the points are going to move by the translation vector. So in mathematical, we are going to show workings how to add the translation vector to the various points given here. Okay, so let me write my solution. Okay. Now point A. Before you solve, you need to state the formula, okay? The formula says what? A point or points plus translation vector is equal to the image. So this is the formula that we are going to use for all, okay? So now let's quickly solve them one after the other. So let the image equal to the x and y. The x and y, because they also be in the form of what? Vectors. So we have the x and y. So the image will be used to represent the x and y. Now point A. Point A is formed by 1 and 4 plus translation vector given by, will move by 2 right, 3 up. So 2 right side and then 3 up. Okay, so we adding to that, and then let the image be the x and the y. Okay, now this is not a fraction, okay, because these are the vectors, so there's no need to find the LCM here. They are not fractions. Sorry. So we are going to solve them using the equation, because we have the equal sign around. So you add the top that associates to what? To the x, and then we add the down that lead to the y. So now we have the 1 plus 2, which is equal to the x, and then 4 plus 3, which is also equal to the y. Therefore, here will be 3 equal to x. And then do the x wall. Good. And then here is 7 equal to y. Therefore, when point A, which is 1 and 4, move to 2 right, 3 up. That is the translation vector. Therefore, the image or the A prime will be the 3, which is the x, and then 7. Okay, good. So that's the image. So when point A is moved 2 right, 3 up, the new image that will form there will be the 3 and 7. Let's solve the other one. The point B, we have the point B. Point B, which is formed by neck 3 and 2. Then we add the translation vector because this point B is also going to move to 2 right, to the right side to find the x, positive x, to find the positive x, unless you move to the right side. So when you plot the point B, then you count 2 right and 3 up, then you get the new image. Or you can use the mathematical formula to solve where the point will be added to the translation vector. Therefore, you get your image here. So the two of them can also work at the same time. So here the translation vector here is 2 right, 3 up. So when this point B is moved 2 right, 3 up, let's see the image that will form over there. Now we said let the image equal to the x and y. Okay. Now we solve it in the equation form. So we solve the first x numbers, which is the -3 here plus 2 is equal to x. And then 2 plus 3 equal to y. Then we solve the equation. -3 plus 2, a debt of 3, and a cash of 2. When you pay off your debt, you'll still be having outstanding debt of 1, which is equal to the x, okay? Then, when you come to the y aspect, the +2 plus +3 will be 5 equal to what? Y. Therefore, when point B, which is -3 and 2, is moved by a translation vector 2 right, 3 up, the new image that will form there, which is the B prime, will be -1 and +5. And that will be the image for that. Let's solve the point C. The point C formed by 2 and -5. And when this point C, which is formed by 2 and -5, is moved to 2 right, 3 up, 2 right, 3 up. Then let's see the image that will form here. We said let the image represent the X and Y. Okay. Now we solve them in equation 4. So the first one is 2 plus 2 equal to the X. And the other one is -5 plus 3 equal to Y. 2 plus 2 is 4 equal to X. And then -5 plus 3, a debt of 5 and a cash of 3. When you pay off your debt, you'll still be owing 2. -2 equal to Y. Therefore, one point C, which is 2 and -5, is moved by a translation vector 2 right, 3 up. The new image, which is the C prime, the new image, which is the C prime here, will be 4 and -2. Okay, so let's solve the point D. One point D, which is -3 and -6, is moved by a translation vector 2 right, 3 up. 2 right, 3 up. The image, new image that will form is the X and Y here. We are going to solve them using the equation. Now, the first equation will be the -3 plus 2 equal to what? X. And then -6 plus 3 equal to Y. Then a depth of 3 and a cash of 2. When you merge them, you will still be owing 1 Ghana cedi here, which is equal to the X. And then a depth of 6 and a cash of 3. Your debt will be reduced by the 3 here, and you still be having outstanding debt of 3, which is equal to Y. Therefore, one point D, which is -3 and -6, move 2 right, 3 up. The new image, or D prime, will be -1 and -3. And that is the images. Now, this is how to find the images where the translation vectors have been given to you to add it to the point. And you can also use the graphical interpretation to verify your answer by moving each point 2 right, 3 up. And you'll still be getting the same coordinate that will form the new point or the new prime here. Thank you for watching. We'll meet again.